Happy New Year, nerds. We are embracing the snowstorm that is supposed to engulf the entirety of the United States this weekend with my return to YouTube content. And what better way to return than with a very easily clickbaitable situation as Zineel has officially gone to Baylor. No more Northwood for Zineel. He has completed the Infinity Gauntlet that is now the Baylor Bears lineup of Andy, Hoxer, and Zineel. Actually insane that this is a CRL lineup, and if this team doesn't win a CRL national championship within the next 2 years, or however much longer Zineel is going to be in college, then I'll riot, personally. It'll just be me, but I'll riot. So we're watching their debut, the Andy Hoxer and Zineel debut under the Baylor banner. I heard they're watching they're playing the RLCS together, but I don't watch the RLCS, so we are CRL pilled on this channel. And this is a Power Esports Conference match against Nebraska, who is still a pretty good team. They're not like a top 48 team, but they can hold their own against this trio and make the score lines when you consider the fact that it's Andy Hoxer and Zineel against 3 CRL guys. They can hold their own, make it fairly close, because there's some talent on this team. Promising and Creed have played together for a hot minute. They're talented in their own right, and Mincy's a freshman I haven't seen too much of. Or I say freshman, first-year player on the team. I forget if he's actually a freshman or not, but they're not bad. They're not bad. But this is Baylor, and these games are not going to be super close. I mean, Zineel's pre-jumping in his opponent's box in a 0-0 game 2 minutes in, so that tells you where the Bears are at in this series. So we'll be doing some skipping ahead, but I wanted to watch Zineel's perspective to see kind of what he's doing with these guys, and I'm really just now realizing how awful a series that this is to try and see how Zineel is playing with Andy and Hoxer, because these guys are screwing around a bit, but clickbait is clickbait. This is the only tape that I get because we don't have a CRL announcement. We don't have any of the other big leagues having kicked off already. It's literally just the PEC right now that I know of. So, beggars can't be choosers. Let's see some nutty goals. That's what I'm here for. Let's see some nutty goals. If not for absolute domination in a PEC match, but for my YouTube content. Because that's the only way I'm going to get really back into this, is if we get some good clickbaity views. Some Garrett G makes his CRL debut, or Kronovi enters Collegiate Rocket League, and here's what happens in their first series, or whatever I was doing in the fall. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy that YouTube content, but I got busy. And sometimes in life, when something doesn't immediately have a payoff, then you lose the motivation sometimes. And that was what happened to me. I didn't forget about all of you. Trust me, I felt plenty of guilt for not uploading. But it's time for me to finally assuage some of that guilt. Because we're back with YouTube content for you to watch while you eat. For all you Rocket League nerds out there that are watching demos with me while you consume food. But here we go. Nutty opener. Not really, actually. That was pretty basic. Let's see if this next one's nutty. Final minute. Baylor's finally got a lead. Maybe they're figuring Nebraska out just a little bit. Like I said, these guys can hold their own, but you can all see the timeline. You all know what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds. And, okay, once again, not all that nutty. This is not what I signed up for, but maybe final 15 seconds we get something insane. Andy and Hoxer. Always good for a crazy duo goal. That's kind of what they were doing with JT in the lineup in the fall, which I can't make a video about Baylor without saying rest in peace, JT. I love you, man. If you're watching this because it's a Baylor replay, dude, I didn't know you existed until August of last year, and it breaks my heart that our time was cut so short together. But okay, Don't look at the scores that are about to pop up if you don't want spoilers. I told you they're all one-sided games, so it shouldn't matter too much, but I want to make sure that you stay engaged, even if you might know the results and are just keeping your eyes off the timeline. If it was a closer series, I'd have the overlay up and all the stuff that I was doing trying to keep it secret last time, but let's these are not crazy goals. You know, we're not seeing the Zineel pre-jump into a backboard reset off the back of an Andy pass off the sidewall that I was expecting. An Andy Musty pass off the sidewalls is what I should say. That's what I was anticipating. We've yet to be treated to any of that. How about a Hoxer ground dribble? Zineel pre-jump into Andy setup off the backboard. He misses. I mean, that's what I was hoping for. But Nebraska's playing too well to give me what I want. In fact, we don't get anything on the timeline. Look, nothing between that save and the next goal. So we're gonna skip ahead and see what the score is. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Creed. Nebraska's been known to do some damage to decent teams previously. They've really made a lot of their bread in CCS, so they've gotten a lot of their notoriety. But it's not quite been the case recently. I'm waiting for this team to kind of hit a stride. It's not going to happen against Baylor, though. They will have PEC matches against Utah, Kansas. Those could be opportunities for them, because this is a good team. And I mean, when you're looking at Baylor being your opponent, beat 4-0, that's not bad. Especially when most of the goals came in the final minute. Oh, that's more like it. Here we go, baby. Finally, we got ourselves a Zineel peak in a Baylor uniform. Let's see it. 13 boost, fuels up in the corner, takes it off the ceiling and off the ground, and uses that ceiling reset to stuff it in. Chef's kiss, Zineel. Magnifique. That's what I'm talking about. That's gonna be the thumbnail for this video. I can almost guarantee it. I'll see there's something crazier in the next game. Let's see how Nebraska scored their lone goal in this series. It was promising. Out over the top, Andy cuts it off, finds Hoxer out to the side, and how does Nebraska turn this into a goal-scoring situation? Hoxer's got no boost, Andy's got plenty, dives in and is beaten, so Hoxer's alone, but he can totally defend this. Fuels up, oh, gets bested and then pinches it in with Creed. Okay, fair enough. That's a rare Hoxer defensive mistake right there. I absolutely fell in love with his defense. I mean, I was never really like a demo reviewer when I was really into the RLCS scene, so I didn't know Hoxer was that good on the goal line until I watched Baylor demos last semester. But they are fun to watch, and you know, talking about Baylor this semester, if you are an avid CRL LAN viewer or go-toer, I would not be shocked to see Baylor at a couple LANs this semester, because A, CECC is going to be in Waco, and so the Texas qualifier for that should probably belong to Baylor, because Lubbock Christian, St. Edwards, probably non-factors when it comes to competing with this team. St. Edwards might have a chance. Lubbock Christian actually might have a chance too, because I was checking, doing some snooping today, and they've got Beastie in the lineup now. The Brit, I think he is supposed to have him in the fall, but things fell through. But he's in their lineup now, so Lubbock Christian should be back to actually beating teams in the top 25, which they did 0 times against teams not named Bruton Parker in the fall semester. Failed to skim. Next. So the Texas qualifier might actually be interesting. I'll set the stage that way, but Baylor should win it. We should see them at CECC, where they will be a threat. And if we actually do get Collegiate Rocket League, like the official Psionics back tournament announced, which it's January 22nd right now. This video is probably going out on the 23rd. And If it doesn't get announced during the NARLCS regional this weekend, then we might be in a situation like the spring semester of 2 years ago, where CRL just went poof, did not exist for a semester. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it does exist though, because I quite like it. That's really the only competition that we get everyone competing in. And even then, we actually don't get everyone competing in it. That's a separate topic though. Separate topic. We don't have time for that. We got 4 minutes to watch more peakage. We're gonna watch this barrage of saves that Nebraska puts up, see how they do it. Hoxer's running ahead, and everyone, okay, the game plan is get up in the air and stop Zineel. Now it's get up in the air and stop Hoxer. It was just promising that was in on that play, but he does a killer job of doing it. Great read. Next one up. Musty on target, promising again. Quite a good player. Him and Creed, definitely solid. I know Creed used to be a bubble grinder. I don't know what exactly he's doing in the RLCS scene these days, because of reasons aforementioned. Promising though. You know, kind of fits the name, like to a T. Very promising. And I hate it when casters do that. When they make those name puns too much, use it as a crutch, but it honestly is a pretty apt description of him. Kind of sums up this Nebraska team. Like, they could be a top 48 roster. I don't know what their practice regime is like. I don't know what all they play in exactly outside of CCS and PEC. But they've got some promise to them. And more than just a third of the roster. But all right, it's 0-0. 3.5 minutes in. So again, showing Nebraska's ability to slow down this Baylor attack. You know, it's not going at full throttle, which is fine. It's week 1 of PEC against a team that they know they can beat probably on keyboard and mouse. But we've still seen some good plays from Nebraska. Some really good goal line reads. And, you know, it's not super sustainable for a full series. Eventually, you're going to make a mistake like that. But it's been good. I'm proud of Nebraska for this one. I'm still waiting for another Zineel pop-off. Not bad. Pretty quick from Zineel to recover. No boost off fielding the kickoff and find Hoxer. Pretty good. Now everyone's going for kickoff. Okay. Why not, guys? Been cooking that one up over the Christmas break. Oh, double commit now for Nebraska. They're getting antsy. Sensing that window closing, and yeah, it has been shut. Let's see what the final goal is. If it's nutty, something to clip instead of that Zineel ceiling play. No, it's got... Well, and he went sideways with it. That was a decent setup, but... Well, maybe one last gas for Nebraska. Backwards. Oh, Mincy crept up a bit too much, and that'll be that. Baylor has debuted their roster with Zineel playing alongside Andy and Hoxer. JT shall forever be known in the Hall of Legends of Collegiate Rocket League. But this is the Baylor team that I know Adam Stanley wanted over the summer. Did the best that they could for the fall with JT. Honestly, did better than what was expected of them with JT joining the lineup. Shout out to him and Andy and Hoxer for that fact. But this is the Baylor team that will probably be in, if we get the same format of CRL that we had in the fall, or if we get CRL at all, in the top 4 bare minimum playing in the spring championships. So, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm going to start uploading more YouTube content. Don't get annihilated by snow and or ice this weekend. That's my advice to you. I'll see you in the next one.